welcome to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. Okay, so today, if you haven't already, make sure you watch my interview with Martha Madison from Days of Our Lives. Absolutely love her, absolutely adore her. If you are in the restaurant business, she has some great tips about that, so make sure you go check that out. But right now, I am super excited to talk to Miss Christina Pasty Grady, an amazing dancer that we've actually known each other for quite some time, and I'm super excited just to sit and talk to her about her career, because when I tell you, she stayed booked, okay? And you always see her right next to Gaga or in Gaga vicinity, doing her thing, flipping her hair, literally you get wore out just by watching her. So let's get her in and chit chat with her about dance and all things Gaga. All right. Oh, here we go. Waiting. She's coming on in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Hope everyone is staying safe and that everyone is doing well. All right. Oh, this lighting is so good. And this beard is coming in full effect, y'all. This is the quarantine look that's happening. All right. Let's see. Come on, Spectrum. All right. Says it's waiting. She's gonna come in any second. Make sure this is still close to y'all. Okay, that feels good. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me get her in here. Okay, there we go. Get her in here. Technology is something else. Okay, here we go. Ah, there she is.
Oh my God, my dog is barking. Let me grab my dog.
Grab the dog. Because the dog is like,
let me
honey,
grab
what's
her.
going
Oh.
I am so excited about this. There she is. Hey, look at, she got a beat on and everything. Come through. How are you? How have you been?
I'm good. Just same as everyone right now. What is
Right?
But
if you guys did not attend the IG Live class that she did last Saturday, you missed it. First of all, she had costume changes. She was giving you. I was like, this is somebody that came on here prepared. She was like, okay, I'm gonna give them this. I'm gonna give them this look. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna switch it up. I was living.
Thank you. It's always a vibe. You have to keep a vibe going. So.
Exactly. Okay, so I realized, when I first met you,
yes,
you were a part of a group called Nikki 16 that I honestly, still to this day, and I told Rashay this, absolutely loved. I it was so Vanity Six, but in the that with that sex appeal, and I still listen to the songs. The songs are on my phone. I live for it.
That's amazing. I mean, not being biased, but that was a good time. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Some good music. You were always there too, by the way. That was all those shows, we were hustling, and you were always there.
Y'all were.
Yeah.
And and anytime Rashay was like, we're performing, I was like, where and what time? Because
yes,
I gotta be there.
Yes, we appreciate that. Oh my God, those were the days. And it was you're right, it was such a Vanity, Apollonia, Purple Rain kind of moment. I'm glad you guys are listening to the music. That's dope.
Oh, my favorite is Come and Get Me, because I feel like it kind of, it's it tells the story of my life, where that's what I want to say to people, come and get me, I'm over here, so come get me. Looking for Love is another favorite of mine.
Oh, that was a good one, yeah.
Blanket Will Put You Through It.
Blanket, Rashay on those vocals on Blanket.
But Drown,
Yeah,
like
that was a bop.
Like if you're going through it,
yeah,
like Drown is like that song that like lets all of the emotions out.
yes, yeah. Oh my God, you better know the songs.
Listen, I told you I was looking for it. Okay, so like, okay, let's talk about that time because that was kind of like a segue from dance for a little bit. Like you guys were still dancing, but now you're like in a group. Did you ever think or wanted to be a part of a group before you were approached to do it?
I mean, it always was my dream. Like when I moved from St. Louis, like I was like, I want to do everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, I'm a choreographer, you know what I mean? Like, and that's really who I've been my whole life. But I never imagined that it would happen that way. So there was like an audition for, it was like Making the Band 3 or something is what it was advertised for. And actually, Richie Jackson, who's Gaga's choreographer, he saw me in my friend Kenneth Marquise's class back at Millennium when it was the Dome. I'm aging myself, but like, and he saw me, Kenneth made me like do it by myself, and he was like, you. Because him and Lori were the choreographers for, you know, like Danny B. Kane and I forgot what the boy band was that came off.
Day 26.
Day 26. So he was like, there's an audition tomorrow at Evolution and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, can you sing? I'm like, yeah, I can sing. So he's like, all right. And it became this whole process. And it wasn't what I thought my initial journey in LA was going to be. But it was such a blessing because like the people we got to work with, like Timbaland and Chris Brown and Missy Elliott, and those are people like I dreamed of to work with, but I always thought I would be a backup dancer working with them.
Right.
Not in the recording studio, making music with them. So it was crazy. Like that whole period of my life, I would go from like, I'm in front with the mic, and then I would hop on a red eye and be a backup dancer for Neo. And then I would hop on another red eye and I would go be in the front with the mic as the star with Nikki Six, you know, not the star, but in my girl group, we were the stars. And then I would get on another red eye or have to rush to whatever because now I'm backup dancer. And like, so it taught me like a lot, more than I could have ever learned just being a dancer.
And I mean, I definitely remember those times, and because Rashay and I worked together, and it was like Rashay figuring out how to like leave work because she had to go do stuff, and I was like, girl, you got a secret life, I got a secret life, but like we know each other's secret life, so I'm here for it. I was like still such a big fan. Like secretly, I kind of pray that like y'all get together and do something because I feel like I told Rashay I never understood why it didn't happen then because I felt like y'all could have been so much more like you know this like girl group, especially in a time where we needed like a girl group. And so secretly I still pray that you guys like reunite and like make it happen because I'm still listening to the bops like they came out yesterday.
Thank you. No, I mean, there's a lot of backstory to it that I'm like, one day I'll release in my book, but I need to go over my old contracts to make sure like what can I release. I'm not trying to have anyone come for me right now.
No, not during quarantine life, because listen, we trying to hold on to all the dollars.
Imagine? Please no. So anyway, there's a lot of backstory, but I will say like nothing that it never was between us girls. Like Alex and Rashay and I, we were always like so tight and so supportive. And like those are my girls for life. It never was a reason of like, I feel like that typical story you hear of like they break up because it was like, between the girls. Like, we were never like that. And same with Richie. Like Richie had our back forever. Like he's family for life. But there was other people a part of it that unfortunately kind of got in the way. So but the music still lives.
Yeah. What? Which was your favorite song?
I would say Come and Get Me. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was one, I'm not sure if we ever released it, but it was called Girlfriend.
I heard it.
Okay, because
Yeah.
Snoop actually rapped on the beginning of it. Casual,
Okay.
which,
Yeah.
you know, was casual when he
But
came to the studio. I was like, oh, okay, hey, what's up?
hey, so you just gonna lay down a bar?
Just
Okay,
gonna
cute.
come lay down
You
some
know.
bars, and then I would do like the raps or whatever. Called it more like talk singing because I'm not a rapper at all. But he was like coaching me on it, and it was just like, what is my life right now? Like I'm from like
Right.
town in St. Louis. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was. Let's talk dance because,
Yes.
like, literally, like, when you dance, it looks so effortless, but so powerful,
Oh,
like, so entertaining. And so, like, I mean, you can tell, like, you're just in it. And, like,
I'm
it's,
definitely in
a,
it.
yeah, it's like you are hitting it, you are hair flipping, you are, like, all about it.
Full.
Um, when did you start dance?
Okay, so I started when I was 2. So
Oh, you was a baby.
I was a
You was one
baby.
of them.
I was one of
Yeah.
them. My mom said
Uh,
like I fully boogied out the womb. Like, what's up?
she's here. Let's
Hi.
go.
So my mom was like, you were gonna dance. Like you were going to dance. So
Yeah.
but so I lived that whole like studio life of like going to the dance studio and doing like competition, and then I was involved in like musical theater. So I was always
Hmm.
crazy about like Broadway shows and stuff. So that was my whole journey, but it was before, obviously social media and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and my studio was pretty
Yeah.
small. They weren't conventions. Now that's a thing in dance. Like there's
Yeah.
tons of conventions, which is amazing, but it was like back then there was only a few and they didn't always come to
Hmm.
town. So, um, it was just like old school training, and I just packed my things and moved to LA after high school. So,
Yeah.
and just
Wow.
went after it. I didn't know.
What's your favorite style to do? Because I feel like you're very well versed in the dance. But is there one that you like love?
Well, I would say between funk, like
Yeah.
real jazz funk. So now,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, with I feel like everything in every industry, things are like meshing and not
Hmm.
true to styles. So I love like a real jazz funk, like incorporating some lines and elements of jazz and then bringing the funk to it. That's probably my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your first like? Well, let's do this first. Before that, your first like dance audition in LA.
Mm, my first dance audition. Ooh.
Because I remember one of the first auditions that I had in LA was for a fashion show with
Mhm.
Macy Gray, and I went over to Millennium,
Yep.
and
I was there.
like I went to the initial call, and then they called me back, and she was there, and I was like, like in LA
Yeah.
auditioning Macy Gray. Like
Yes.
you couldn't tell me I wasn't about to get booked. I didn't get
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
But you couldn't
Same.
tell me I was not about to get booked on that show. But that was my like first one. Do you remember what yours was?
I believe my first one was for Maya. This is back when
Oh,
Maya was like still, not that she's not still releasing music, but like she was popping.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I remember it was Debbie Reynolds. Yeah,
Oh,
I know, RIP. I'm still so
yeah.
angry that that studio got knocked down.
I know.
It's crazy, but yeah, it was like wrapped around the block, of course, because we call them, cattle calls.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just remember showing up, and it was so many like dance legends that I like idolized that were there, like just old
Uh-huh.
school dancers that I had been studying my whole life, like in music videos. And
Yeah.
they were all there auditioning too. So I was very much at peace that I was like, not sure if I'm going to get this one, but, you know, but I was like, I'm going for blood. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but I just remember looking around and being like, same, like with your experience. Maya wasn't there, but for me, it was just like some of our industry's greats that I was like, wow, like this in itself was the dream for me, you know?
Yeah.
To be in the room with them and watch them just slay everyone. I was like, yep, I'm here. I'm living it. But
Who
yeah,
did, who
it
did
was
you
crazy.
Who did you grow up idolizing? Like dancers, choreographers. Who were some of the people that you like looked up to?
Well, I would say it's pretty wide range for me because
Yeah.
I go way back. Like like a phrase that I teach all my kids, because you know I have like a mentorship program that I tour with and stuff, is like study the greats, not the trends. So
Yeah.
for me, there's living greats and living legends, but I always dial back to the old school greats, you know, like Fred Astaire and Sid Charisse and the Nicholas brothers, and you know what I mean, like those Gene Kelly, like forever. I mean, still daily. Like last night, I was like up till all hours of the night, just like watching Fosse performances that like I literally can tell you like where his pinky finger lands because I've seen it like that many times. But then like people generationally before me, like Rich and Tone and Tina Landon, you know what I mean? Michael Rooney, Vincent Patterson, like Shonique and Lisette. I mean, there's so many, but I just really have an admiration for anyone who came before me in the industry. Like I will forever be like, bow down.
I feel like that's what dancers nowadays, I don't want to say all dancers, but dancers nowadays don't study the greats and the people who, like, it's all YouTube. You know, it's like, oh, what is this YouTube person doing? You know, and I feel like dancers forget to study and learn the basics, and that going to class is not about getting in the video to be posted on social media. It's about learning and growing as a dancer. So that, you know, when you go into those auditions and, you know, people say, can you do this? Can you tap? Can you do modern? Can you do hip hop? You're versed in all of that. And not just what you learned on YouTube, but like, you know, studying, you know, Fosse and like Sweet Charity and like Gene Kelly and like the Nicholas brothers. Like I just saw a video of the Nicholas brothers. It was a tap routine. I don't remember where it was from, but I think they literally did it in like one take. But they're like upstairs, downstairs, over each other, like
over each other.
And I'm like, ask somebody to do that now. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna need about 5 takes to get it.
And 12 cameras cutting a million different angles. Like, nope, you get a one shot, and we're gonna boom, 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 cut.
So I think it's important for dancers to learn and study the greats.
Totally.
And know dance history, because
that is
it's there for a reason.
I feel like you're totally right. Like that's exactly what we're missing, and that's where I've kind of found that's naturally who I am as a teacher, because that's just who I am as a dancer, always to study the greats, and I don't follow trends. I just have never been drawn to that. But it's crazy now more than ever that like that naturally is what I've always preached as a teacher and practiced what I preached. But now I'm like, oh, they need to hear this now more than ever. So that's and I tell the kids, like when I teach and stuff, I go to these studios and I give them like, it's called What It Takes, and I give them like a taste of what it takes to make it and how to stay successful in the industry, not just land those few gigs and then be trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent. Like let's have you have a long-lasting career. You're buying a house, you're buying cars. Like, it's not about the money, it's about working in the industry.
Yeah.
And I tell them, like, hard work, kindness, those two things will carry your career. But with that hard work, it's like you have to know your dance history. You have to be the hardest worker in the room every single time. Like, every time I go into a room, it's not a competitive thing. I'm always like, I will always be the hardest worker in here. And that's to hold myself accountable.
Right.
To never get comfortable with whatever my resume is and what, like, no. So it's really hard. So I'm putting so much energy into the current and then the up and coming generation to tell them, like, I understand that that's the language you guys speak and you're active on social media, and that's great and it can be a great thing. But I'm telling you, getting caught up in those trends is going to do nothing for your career. If you want longevity, know your dance history, study the greats, not the trends. I'm like, you're going to have a career. Because I'm like, you trying to go into that lane of just being one of 1 million, or trying that person who has 1 million likes or something on that video, and now we all got to try to learn that. You're just becoming one of those 1 million robots. They all are looking the same and dancing the same. I mean, I've, been an assistant choreographer also throughout my entire career and choreographed things myself, but I had a huge part of my career as an assistant choreographer with many choreographers, and I watched it happen. And it was like, dancers would freestyle, and there were times literally at the audition where I would have to stop the music, and the choreographer and I would look at each other and say, did you guys choreograph that on their freestyle? And they would be like, no, like, I'm freestyling. Oh yeah, I'm freestyling. It's like, your freestyles are looking the exact same. That's not okay. Like, that is not okay. So I'm like, so that's why I'm not anti-social media. Obviously, we're here now. Like, let's use it. Use it for a great thing. But I'm really trying to inspire the current and next generation that, like, you don't need that. Like, you don't need that for a career. Hard work, talent, and kindness will carry you. You don't need trending.
It's definitely carried you, because your resume, like, is everything. Like, Carrie Hilson, Nicki Minaj, Neo, Diddy, and of course Gaga. I feel like there hasn't been a time where I haven't looked at something of Gaga and haven't been able to find you.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's my girl.
What was we'll get into all that, because that's a lot. Do you remember who was the first, like, big artist that you worked with?
Well, I would say she's like a triple threat, but like, my first big job was a music video with Raven Simone.
I love Raven.
Me too.
She is the most. She is the most down to earth, like, humble. I interviewed her on my Lounging with Tony show. We still keep in touch, and she's just like
sweetest.
One of the best humans.
Yeah, and so talented. Like,
super crazy. Talented.
Yeah, so it's like a Disney music video or something. I want to say for like around the show That's So Raven, I want to say. Like, it's like like 15 years. So yeah. But it was amazing because, it was a major set. It was my first time like seeing something of that magnitude or whatever. And so lucky to have that be my first job, because she, like you said, she is so sweet and down to earth. And then after that, I booked an Avril Lavigne music video. Now this is during her like Skater Boy.
Yes.
the Avril
That
program.
whole
So
thing.
it was like crazy for me because she
Yeah.
was popping. So I
Yeah.
was like, what? And I did this video with her and Lil Mama for her song Girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, they asked me to go on tour with her. So
What?
I did her world tour.
What is tour life like? Because I feel like you don't really know what it is until
Yeah.
you're in it. Like what was it like? Because I feel like that's like a dream. Like when you're a dancer and you're getting into this, you're like, I want to go on tour.
Yes.
Now you're on tour. Like how have your experiences with tours been?
Yeah. So touring then is a lot different than touring now. Because of this, like when we were gone back in the day, we were gone. Like
Yeah.
I was buying calling cards in Mexico and Russia, and you know what I'm saying? Like, let me get this calling card. I'm gonna use this hotel phone. I'm gonna get charged $1.99 for using it, but then I'll just put it on my calling card. Like, the struggle was real.
Was real. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
oh, I bet.
Yeah, and like disposable cameras and digital cameras and all that. So I'm so thankful that I had that experience of like the old school touring.
Yeah.
Because now when I've gone, like I did Gaga's last tour, she has one coming up this summer. Hopefully, you know, with everything with
Oh my God.
Yeah. So and it's such a better experience as far as connecting with your family. But basically, okay, so like kind of the blueprint of how tour works. You obviously have like rehearsals, which can go anywhere from like, I've been on world tours where they're like, figure it out. You have 2.5 weeks to learn a 2-hour show.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And then I've been on tours where, you know, you have a month and a half or 2 months, which is still intense. But then once you get on the road, how it usually works is, so you get to whatever, let's say you're performing in Indiana. So you get to Indiana and you'll have your sound check that day. You do the show. And then after the show, you shower at the venue. This is typical tour life. So you shower at the venue, you know, boys dressing room, girls dressing room, everybody does their thing. And then you have a bus call time. So you have to be back on the tour bus, let's say it's usually like 11 p.m. or midnight, whatever. And then you get on the bus and overnight you drive to the next city.
Yeah.
And you have bunks. Yeah, you have bunks on the bus. You have usually like, you know, each tour, you know, pending budget, that bus life can be like lit AF, or it can be like, oh, okay, we're out here we're just out here trying to get to the next city. So, but
this went from tour life to like Survivor.
Yes, literally survival. So anyway, so you'll get on the bus and then so you'll wake up in the next city. So depending on the ride, if you're going, you know, just over one state, you might get to the next city at like 4 a.m. And then how it usually works, if you're blessed enough, like thank God for like Gaga and Mariah, like they don't typically do shows back to back. So when you wake up in the next city, you get off the bus in front of you check into the hotel. Yeah. And you have that day off in the city. The next day is your show day. You get on the bus, they take you to the venue, you do your sound check, you do your show, show's over, you shower, you get on the bus and you go, it's like that. And so, but you know, every now and then you get even more than a day off if you're blessed, and it's like you're getting paid to see the world. Yeah. So I tell even non-dancers, like people who maybe would want to work in production, like you can work in accounting. Like I tell anyone, like get on a tour. You will get paid to see the world. The world, But it's a must do for dancers. Like every dancer, I tell them you have to go on tour.
I've always wanted to go on tour. I don't know in what capacity. Like maybe if like I think of like Britney's Onyx tour where the guy was like the host of it. Like he didn't have to dance, but he was like the hosting guy. I was like, that could be me just for my tour experience. I would love to do something like that.
I would love that for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
How did Gaga come about? Because I feel like you've been with her for a while.
11 years.
Wow.
Yeah, since the first single. Mm-hmm.
Since Just Dance.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So like, was it just an audition and you thought,
yeah,
all right, this will be a cute gig? And
yeah, so I auditioned. It was per usual. It was like, you know, a couple thousand dancers, like crazy cattle call. It was for, I think the first one it was for her Dancing with the Stars performance. She did like Love Game and Just Dance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then, you know, I got the call, like booked it or whatever, and per usual, I was like looking around like, this is insane, because there was like Peanut, aka Bethany Strong, Victor Rojas, who I'm still dancing with, and I pinch myself every day because I'm just like, oh, casual, hi legend. You know, Richie was dancing in it. He was also assistant choreographer to Lorianne. And then I'm trying to think who else. Ed Moore. Like, there was just all these people that come from a generation that above me that I was like, wow. So it started with that, and then I remember auditioning again for, I think it was like the VMAs or something.
Yeah.
For Paparazzi. And
I love that performance.
Yes. And I actually, so I didn't get hired for that one. Lorianne and Richie called me and they were like, look, you're not going to love us, but there's this new, her producer, Space Cowboy, was wanting dancers who sing. And he was popping off because all her music was popping off. So they were like, we know you're an artist too, and Nikki 16, you're going to be his backup dancer. So we know you would rather obviously be with Queen, but we're going to put you on this. So I started working with him. So it was my friend Deja Riley and I. So we were like basically background singers / dancers. So I was doing that, and then they called me back for Saturday Night Live with Gaga, which led to like the Bad Romance era music video, like all of it. So it's been crazy, because basically my journey throughout my career was like, besides being an artist, as far as Gaga goes, working with her, I would go work on a different job maybe. Neo, Mariah, like whatever. And then I would get a call and they would be like, hey, are you available for the Applause video? And sometimes it didn't work out. Most of the time it did. But I feel really blessed that I was able to do all of that. You know, and that they wanted me back. And, you know, Richie would always ask me back. And even long after, you know, Nikki 16 and stuff. So it was crazy. But for me as a dancer, I never wanted to be locked into just like one name as far as who I worked with. I wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to be an assistant choreographer. I wanted to work in television and film, in front of the camera and behind. I wanted to work with pop artists, hip hop artists, rock and roll, you know, Latin artists. Like, so that has been the biggest blessing to me. And then now it's crazy because the past couple of years I've been like mostly with Gaga. And it's really cool because it just feels right, because I'm married now. You know,
Oh yes, congratulations.
Thank you. But you know, it feels right now, because they always felt like my family, you know, for a million reasons, like all the people involved, her, you know, the dancers, like I love all of them so much. So it was crazy how it worked out timing wise. Like
Yeah.
that now I'm working with her mostly recently. And because I'm like, I can't be hopping from like this artist and on the red eye flight and what, like I have to see my husband too. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
like, bring it down. But and it feels great because they're the best. So I'm really grateful to still get asked back.
How would you? I've met Gaga once, and that was when she was promoting Art Pop. She came to Mickey's, and she sat in the audience of our drag show. I was hosting it at the time, and I was like, she's like one of the most coolest. Like, I'm just here, like
everyone
don't
else.
mind me. Yeah, and I'm like, you're Gaga. Like, how can we not mind who you are? You know what I mean? But she just sat. She like enjoyed the show. She sang happy birthday to all the birthday people that night. She's just so nice.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe Gaga to us?
I would say down to earth and the hardest worker in the business.
Yeah.
The hardest
Agreed.
worker. Yeah, like out of all the artists I've worked with, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
No one compares to her work ethic. No.
Yeah.
Like hands
And
down.
She's so talented too. I didn't realize how talented she was until I saw the Art Pop concert. And it was by accident. It was totally by accident. I went with a friend. It was at Staples Center. He was like, I got box seats, like, let's go. And I was like, all right. I was like, I like Gaga. And I knew Richie, I knew you. I was like, this will be, be fun. And I just remember her playing the piano and just singing. And I was like, wait, take away the meat dress, take away like the kookiness. And I'm like, and I'm looking around at everyone. I'm like, does no one realize just how talented this woman is? Like,
it's crazy.
Like we look at her as like when she came onto the scene as like this very like avant-garde artist, and it's like she doesn't even need that. Yeah, all the stunts and shows and all the things and coming out of eggs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, she doesn't even need any of that. Like, she is just a super talented woman.
Yes, that's the thing that I think I'm most proud of her for, is that like that, of course, that is a part of her, and going like above and beyond, and everything's always out there, and whether it's the art or the fashion or the shock value, and that's who she is, like as a person too. But it's like, she couldn't just sit there in her jeans and a t-shirt with a piano and will blow you away. Like, she's pure talent. So I think that too, like where for me, where I'm kind of at in life, as far as like who I would want to work with and stuff, it's like at this point I only want to work with the best of the best, and she is. She really
for
is.
sure.
So, but yeah, even me, like as many performances and as long as I've worked with her, she gets on that piano, or even not on the piano, even just in rehearsal or anything, and sometimes I'm like, holy shit. Like, I cannot believe that I'm a part of this with you. Like, it's humbling. It's not, for me, it's never come from a place of like, and I've been here for this long. Like, I'm also equally as shocked. I'm like, wow, she really is one of the greatest of our time and of all time. Like, she will go down in history, her, Beyonce, of course, it's like, they're the greats of our time, but they will go down in history as some of the greatest of all time. So it's always, I'm equally as shocked sometimes, even standing right next to her with like, you know, holding that pose with my game face on. I'm sometimes secretly gagging too. Like,
yeah. How versatile she is gags me. Like, what was it, the Oscars where she did The Sound of Music?
oh,
I was like, bitch, where did that come from? Like, I would have never thought. And then,
roots. So like her roots
yeah,
have been like theater and jazz music. Like,
mm-hmm.
so that's what I mean. Like people don't, because they're so, which is understandable. Like you're used to the shock value and the pop music and everything, and it's like,
Yes,
actually, like she has roots in like so many other styles. It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like Gaga routine to perform to? Like this song comes on and you're like, bet, like I am so down, ready for this.
Love Game.
Yeah.
So Love Game for me, so because like I'm musical theater down, like that was big in my roots growing up. And the choreography and the feel and the execution of it, especially what we do and how she sings it and all of it behind it is like West Side Story. And that's one of my favorite of all time musicals. So the level of hype that I get every time that song comes on, it's like, bring it down. Sometimes I watch the footage and I'm like, ooh, you gotta reel it a little bit. I get so hype. I mean, all her music is just dope, but that one, like sometimes I feel like I'm levitating.
Yeah. What about working with Richie? Because I know like Richie is everything. Like anytime, like the few times that I get to like chit chat with him and stuff, like he's just everything.
He
and
really
like
is. Like he's like a walking cartoon or something. Like his little personality. And then you want to like squeeze him because he's so freaking cute. He's the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Richard Jackson changed my life, and he knows that, and I will make sure that the world will always know that. Again, like from a place of humbleness, like it blows my mind that he would take a chance on me and hire me and believe in me and stuff. So that man's forever changed my life. And the talent, I mean, I don't know what planet his brain pulls from, but it's not it's not on Earth. Like he goes somewhere else. Like so his creative process is super inspiring to be in the room and witness, because he just vibes. Like he turns on the music. Sometimes he's hearing it when we're hearing it, and like he just creates like off the top. And to me that's a real creator. Do that and not like choreograph everything to a T before you get there and just like stick to your grid. Like he just like feels it and try this or try that, and it's but he's by far my favorite choreographer that I've ever worked with. So yeah, and it's always something. Some of the phrases that come out of his mouth, I'm like, you said what? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he literally is. I feel like when you meet him, you also have to get handed the official Richard Jackson Squirrel Friend dictionary so that you can follow along with whatever it is that he's saying. Yeah.
Totally.
It's like unless you know him, you won't get it. It'll go over your head. But when you get him and understand him, you find yourself like chatting about it, and you're like, oh wait, no, I'm in the world now. I'm in it. I've just landed on Squirrel Friend world. Like, and I'm here for it. But what I love is that I mean, he obviously knows talent, and I think that he obviously sees that in you. Because I mean, when like I said earlier, when you perform, being a performer is something that you can't learn or be taught. It's just kind of in you.
Feeling.
Yeah, and I feel like when you perform, like you can look at the artist, but then you look over at you and you're like, she's in it. Like you're with it, but she's in it. Like this isn't like she turned on the switch and was like, okay, now I'm doing the routine. It's like, no, the routine is like in you. And like you're like, here it is, world. Enjoy.
Well, thank you. That means a
Yeah.
lot. Because that's kind of always been my thing. Like even as a kid in the small town suburb dance studio at recitals, it was like, you know, doing my tap dance to Rockin' Robin for our summer recital. It was like I was Rockin' Robin, like it you know, like it was crazy. It's like always just been in there that like I can't just like, hi, here's 5, 6, 7, 8, here's the steps. Like
Yeah.
everything like comes from my soul, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's just
Yeah.
a hit, like that hit is like for your life.
Oh, yes, it is. Like, there have been times where I'm like, she snapped her neck doing that.
Oh, this Brokeback Mountain neck I have, thanks to all those cacks, but it was worth it. But that's what I try to teach dancers too, is I'm just like, we had plenty of movers in the industry. They moved.
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. But I'm like,
Mhm.
we're missing entertainers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's because a lot of things, but I'm like, first of all, we got to stop looking to movers for inspiration. Because I'm like, you're going to learn the movement, but you'll be fine at that, because so many dancers nowadays, I mean, they pick up steps like, you know, like it's nothing. They can pick up so fast.
Yeah.
Like everything, they get faster. Technology, they understand faster, you know? So that's a beautiful thing. But I'm like, but you're not entertaining. You have to bring it to life. We have to feel it. And like you said, like that can't be taught, but it can be encouraged.
Yes.
And I feel like as a teacher, that's something that I'm really trying to bring out of the up and coming and the current generation, that like it's okay to do that, because they're getting so boxed into like, I need to dance like them because they have all the likes and all the followers and whatever. And it's like, no, 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 no.
You need to find you.
You need to dance like you, and you need to entertain like you, and we need you to come out without changing the step. But it's just not getting encouraged, I feel, enough from teachers in the industry. And I say that lightly because there's just a lot of teachers now. You know, so I'm just that's something I'm trying to spread. So I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. Because that is really something that I try to get out of any dancer that I work with, because I'm like, that's the magic. The audience knows the difference between someone who's just up there hitting a step and someone who is so living it and they're entertaining, and it's coming from here. So, and I'm like, that's our job. We're entertainers.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to do that. You have to convey that.
Yeah. So, again, that's where I go back to studying the greats, not the trends, because it's like, you know, if we're on set, I should be able to say, or the choreographer should be able to say, you know, like, I need you to hit that pose, like make it a Marilyn Judge. And it's like, you should automatically turn on to who is Marilyn. You know what I mean?
Just gave me a Tyra moment where, you know, when she's like, it's not this, it's this, and you can tell the difference. Oh, you just did it. You were like, with Marilyn, and I was like, she did it. She did it. She learned it.
Well, thank you. But no, that's what I'm saying, is it has to be that, and like we should be able to name drop people, and you should be able to like and
know who it is.
Know who that is and know how to mock whatever that vibe is.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not going to be calling out at Instagram handles for you to dance like them.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So anyway, so that's what I'm trying to bring back. Some like real entertainment is never going to die, y'all.
Yeah. Okay, so before they shut this live off,
The shade.
The shade of it. Okay, two quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, what was the craziest thing that you had to do with Gaga? Like, you looked at Gaga and Richie like, we're doing this? Huh?
Like, bitch, you're trying it right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot. Okay. Okay, let me try to briefly share a couple. Okay, so one is just like a funny one. It wasn't like that. It was just the timing and what they were asking me to do was really dramatic. And Richie tells this story sometimes too.
Yeah.
But we were doing You and I promo, her song You and I. And I think it was some show in London, some talk show.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name. Not Graham Norton. I forgot the name. But anyway, it was like a barn scene. You know, that was like the vibe of that era for her song. And there was like a picture frame of Joe, because that was something she was doing at the time, like this character. Yeah. So it was basically like stand up, and then there was a beat, and then he wanted the picture frame for Gaga to look into, and I was supposed to hold it, and she was going to be like singing to the picture frame. But like, I'm downstage with her, stand up, like, I don't know, fly to get the picture frame and get back in one count to hold it. And the whole vibe was like, stand up and go get it and come back. And it was like, and she looked at me and she was like, so are you good? And I was like,
It's like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So sure enough, that red light came on, that music came on. When I tell you, you have never seen a chassé faster, bitch. I was back grabbing that picture frame, and I'm pretty sure I had time to breathe and blink and adjust, like, because I was like, oh, you're not getting me. I will hit my mark. But so those things happen all the time, and I don't think people realize, and that's what's funny, because we're always like, if they only knew.
Yeah.
And another crazy thing was when we filmed Bad Romance. So I think we
filmed
the video for like 23 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I almost missed my flight because I was also on tour with this artist, with Cassie. You know Cassie.
Yeah.
So I had a flight in like 3 hours for her tour, which was fine. It was fine. But they were Windexing the floor because they wanted it to be shiny for the video. Yeah. And we're like coming out of coffins.
Yes.
With like a condom on our face, and then a mask, and then a crown. And then, you know, you're coming out in your platform shoes on the Windex floor, like, but like naked fashion.
Yes.
So, and we're in like hour 23.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, there's moments like that, like, I'm just like, they would never believe us if they knew what.
Yeah. What was really going on.
What was really going on. And then you see the video and you're like, oh, okay, we did that.
Look, I live for the video. I know how to do the choreography. Yep, she learned it. Mm-hmm.
I already know you do. I already know.
Damn. And then real quick, before the countdown comes in, you being someone who has an amazing career in dance, what advice can you give to dancers who are pursuing this so that they can have the longevity that you've had in this career, besides being kind and hardworking? What else can you give to dancers who are watching?
Well, I mean, I know I already said this, but I'm just going to emphasize this part more: the study the greats, not the trends. Honestly,
yes.
To dive deeper in that, I would say that is the biggest advice I can give dancers. Meaning, all the greats in every style, whether it's old Hollywood, like Gene Kelly and the Nicholas brothers and Sid Charisse and all these amazing old Hollywood actors, performers. And then, you know, in street dance, like Mr. Wiggles, popping. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all the greats in popping and locking and all of that.
Yeah.
And in jazz, Joe Tremaine and Michael Rooney, and, you know, like, that is the biggest piece of advice I would say, because that is what I feel like we're lacking the most in the industry. Is there's so many dancers that are looking the same, dressing the same, dancing the same. And it's like, if you can just get a little piece and feel that inspiration from all these different greats and then put it into your own, like, that's the star being born in yourself.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what you did there. Yes.
But you know, that's so I would say that's the biggest piece of advice, because and working on their own, like go to the clubs if you're of age, go to the clubs, and not to sit around and drink and all that and look cute, to dance. Like go to house clubs and just dance. Like even if it's just for an hour, like lose your mind and dance and get inspired and watch the freestylers around you and vibe. Like we're missing that, like raw, authentic, individual style.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I say that, and save your money.
Most importantly, save your money.
So
exactly. Oh well, thank you so much, Miss Pasty. I appreciate you. This was so good. We may have to do a part 2 because because we talked like, and I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
I know, and I'll be here.
And I'll be here. All right, boo. Yes, we'll talk and we'll do a part 2 for sure.
I would love to.
Oh, thank you, boo. I appreciate you. So good to see you. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Oh, I absolutely adore her. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna schedule a part 2 so that we can really like get into some stuff. I'm already getting the countdown, so stay tuned, because coming up in about an hour, I have Ms. Vicky Box coming in, and trust me, it's about to be a mess. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore, and I'll see you in just a second. All right, bye everyone.